So this is our second podcast that we're doing for Mental Health Awareness Week, and I'm joined by Holly Mainstone, who's from iTalk, which is our talking therapist service. Holly, welcome to our podcast. Could you just take some time to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. So my name's Holly Mainstone, as you said. I'm a psychological wellbeing practitioner at iTalk, which is a fancy way of saying I work with people who are struggling with common mental health difficulties. So I work at iTalk, which is a partnership between Solent Mind and the NHS, and we offer free talking therapies based on cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT.
Thanks, Holly. And this week it's Mental Health Awareness Week, and we're talking loneliness. So could you just tell me, what is loneliness, Holly?
Loneliness is quite a broad term, but it's kind of that feeling of feeling on your own, or kind of not connecting to the people around you. It can be sort of about that social contact, so you might be not meeting up with friends, or experienced a bereavement and kind of missing that person. But it can also be just sort of being around people, but actually those people aren't really understanding you, and you're not connecting with them at all. And there's lots of reasons why you might feel lonely: going through relationship breakups, moving, bereavement, specific lifestyles as well, so military life, being carers, all sorts of different reasons that you might be experiencing loneliness.
And what impact does loneliness have on people's mental health then?
I think it's important to say that feeling lonely isn't in itself a mental health diagnosis or problem, but the two are really strongly linked. Having a mental health problem can increase your chance of feeling lonely and feeling sort of like people around you don't understand what's going on, and feeling isolated with that. But also, if you're feeling lonely, you're really likely to kind of feel negative. You might kind of be thinking that, oh, everyone else has got friends and I haven't, or I don't want to intrude on other people's lives. And those negative thoughts can kind of lead to thoughts around sort of how you see yourself, and that can bring on sort of really feelings of sadness. And kind of not having that connection with people can sometimes increase sort of inactivity. I know sort of, if I felt lonely in the past, I've kind of not wanted to do things, not wanting to do the chores, or kind of if I have then got something to go to, I'm thinking, I can't really be bothered. And that can really increase sort of the chance of feeling depressed and kind of that coming in.
And I think a lot of people will identify with that, won't they? If once you start to feel that perhaps a downward trend of regularly sort of maybe missing out on social events, or not wanting to see friends and family that you might normally see, I guess that's a sign that something's not quite right, is it?
Definitely. It's sort of one of those vicious cycles, and sometimes it can be a bit chicken and egg, not quite sure what came first. But if you're feeling lonely, you're not kind of feeling up to seeing people, you might be thinking, oh, no one likes me, no one wants to make contact with me. So you don't make contact with others, and you can see, as you mentioned, it can kind of get into a bit of a spiral there, where you might not be having that contact and then not feeling like making the effort to have that contact. And that's sort of really, really normal with sort of feelings of loneliness.
So, what support is out there, and why is it important for people to get support?
It's really important to get support, because, as I said, it can get into that vicious cycle. And really, if you're stopping that vicious cycle at the beginning, at the root, when you start to notice some of these symptoms, sort of worrying about what others are thinking of you, worrying about kind of, oh yeah, I know I feel lonely in the evening, and starting to worry about that in the morning. When we can start supporting you at the beginning, when you start to notice these feelings, it's much easier to kind of change some of those behaviours and get some support in, start helping you to socialise much earlier on. And there is a lot of support out there as well. So iTalk offer sort of one-to-one therapy, so you can work with a practitioner and talk through kind of where some of those problems might be coming from, whether there's some negative beliefs about people wanting to spend time with you, or whether it's more about wanting to work out, okay, I feel lonely, I am struggling, I don't have many friends in this area, whatever it might be, how can I then problem solve that and go forwards with it. We also offer group sessions, so if you're kind of not feeling confident enough to kind of talk to a practitioner, we can set you up on one of our Managing Moods courses, which is brilliant. And they're sort of set up as live videos, so you can kind of watch them and take on the information as maybe sort of an introduction to what we do. And we also offer really specific support groups as well. So we've got a self-care for carers sort of one-off workshop. And people find that really helpful because you kind of get to meet other carers and work out specific tips to manage that lifestyle as well, which can be really helpful. We also have specific peer support for military partners as well, which can be a really lonely lifestyle, especially if people around you aren't military partners. And then our partners, Soul Mind, offer a really large sort of wealth of support. So they've got peer support, they've got wellbeing centres all throughout Hampshire that you can self-refer to, pop down and talk to them or give them a call. They offer courses, employment support, so it's really worth having a look on their website as well.
How can they find out more about that?
iTalk, you can self-refer on our website or you can give us a call. You can directly refer to some of our wellbeing classes. So if you go on our website, go to How We Help, and there's a long list of different sort of wellbeing classes, online support and things that we offer. And then for Soul Mind as well, you can have a look on their website or give them a call.
And those websites are?
So iTalk is www.italk.org.uk. And Soul Mind is www.soulatmind.org.uk.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us, Holly. That was really interesting. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.